Today, we're pulling back the curtain on what high-level SEO strategy really looks like. And I'm not talking about theory here. We're going to look inside a real-world playbook that is absolutely crushing it right now. And that really begs the question, right? With AI changing what search even is on what feels like a daily basis, what are the smartest strategists in the world actually doing to keep winning? Well, to get the answer, we're going to do something pretty cool. We're going to be a fly on the wall inside a real 30-minute strategy meeting between a top-tier expert and their client. So let's do it. Let's listen in. So in the room, you've got Shaun Anderson, a veteran SEO consultant and a marketing manager he's been working with for over a decade. But there's a third person, or well, a third thing in the room, an AI, just quietly taking notes. Now, you're going to want to file that little detail away because it becomes a huge deal later on. All right, first up. The first pillar of their entire strategy is all about proving your worth. This is, without a doubt, the bedrock of any successful SEO today. And that bedrock, it's got a name. EEAT. It stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. You can think of it as Google's new BS detector. It's how it figures out if your content is the real deal or if it's just fluff. And here is where the rubber really meets the road. They didn't just, talk about EEAT. They actually started weaving it right into the DNA of the website. They totally overhauled their About Us page to tell their actual story. They built out super detailed author bios for the real human experts behind the content. They even created this thing called a compliance center to be transparent about laws and regulations. And they added a reassurance page on their parent company's website. See? Each one of these steps is like another brick in the wall of trust. And the expert's advice here was so clear. Any changes you make that improve EEAT, they can't wait. This isn't some nice-to-have thing for next quarter's roadmap. It's a do-it-right-now priority. Okay, so once you've built that foundation of trust, you can move on to pillar 2, the content itself. And this means a complete shift in mindset, away from more content and toward smarter content. For years, the old way was just a numbers game, right? Just pump out more and more pages to hit more and more keywords. But that just leads to a bloated, messy, and frankly, confusing website. The new way is way more surgical. It's about finding all those weak, overlapping articles and combining them into one powerful, fact-filled resource on that topic. Now, this whole strategy, it actually has a name. It's called Entity SEO, and it's a total game changer. It means you stop obsessing over just keywords, the literal words people type into the search bar. Instead, you focus on the real-world things those words are about. The concepts, the people, the places. These are the entities that Google is getting incredibly good at understanding. And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. A recent test mentioned in the source material pretty much confirmed it. It looks like Google is now actively identifying these entities inside the content itself, which means this strategy just went from a good idea to being absolutely critical. Which brings us to pillar number 3. And honestly, this is the most clever, most forward-thinking part of the whole thing. They call it the meta advantage. So remember that AI from the beginning of the meeting? The one that was just, quietly taking notes in the corner? Well, here comes the twist. It wasn't just there to create a transcript. Its job was way bigger than that. The whole goal was a meta strategy in action. Get this, the meeting about the marketing strategy was designed to become the marketing content. The expert advice being shared in that room was being captured in real time so it could be turned into legitimate proof-based content for the website. How smart is that? So how does this meta content machine actually work? Well, first, the AI transcribes the entire expert discussion. Then, and this is the most important non-negotiable step, a human expert has to go through and edit and verify every single word for accuracy. Then, once you've got that verified transcript, it's basically a goldmine. You can create blog posts, social media updates, even video explainers from it, kind of like this one. The discussion also hit on another really important topic, how to win in Google's new AI overviews. And their strategy is both clever and, I think, really ethical. It's not about spam or trickery. It's about finding real, factual mentions of your company on other reputable websites and then using those proven facts to back up the claims you make on your own site. You're basically creating this web of verifiable proof that signals to Google's AI, hey, we're a trustworthy source, you should feature us. So, after getting to be a fly on the wall for that incredible masterclass,
What's the blueprint? What can we take away and use ourselves?
I think it really boils down to 5 main things. First, prove your expertise with real, concrete EEAT signals. Second, stop making more weak pages, start consolidating them into powerful content hubs. Third, shift your focus away from just keywords and onto those real-world entities. Fourth, use factual PR mentions to help you win in the new AI-powered search results. And finally, the big one, start using AI as a tool to ethically capture and scale your own human expertise.
And all of this leaves us with one last, really crucial question you should ask about your own work. When you look at the stuff you're creating, is it just information or is it proof?
What if your next meeting could become your absolute best piece of marketing?